Good afternoon. This special call meeting of the Pender County Board of Education is now called to order. To determine we have a quorum, we are going to have a roll call. Please answer when I call your name. Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Spivey?
Yes.
Ms. Hanson?
Yes.
And Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
Thank you. It is determined that we do have a quorum. At this time, we're going to move on to the adoption of the agenda. If anybody has a motion to approve the agenda, or at this time, we will take a motion. And as always, since this is a called-in meeting, we are going to have roll call votes throughout. So do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
This is Don. I'll make that motion.
Mr. Hall's made the motion. Do we have a second?
Jason makes the second.
Mr. Spivey with a second. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Reeves?
Aye.
Ms. Hanson?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
And Mr. Spivey? Mr. Spivey?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we are going to move on to our action agenda. Let's see. We are looking at student Chromebook purchase. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I have no questions.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Could someone on our staff please explain so that the public can understand why it's necessary that we are forced by the state to buy these, basically?
Good afternoon. This is Michael Taylor. I will start the conversation, and obviously, please, Mr. Macon, if you have additional statements, please provide those for our Board of Education. The reality is we currently have many of our Chromebooks that are on a 5-year refresh. We are moving to a 7-year refresh with our Chromebook devices, as they have been improved over time. But currently, many of our Chromebooks are expiring in the service area, and once they reach a date of being out of service, they are no longer allowed to be utilized for state testing. And all of our students, grades 3 through 12, are involved in some form of statewide testing that requires them to have the updated versions of Chromebooks. Mr. Macon, do you have additional guidance?
No, you said that well. Yeah.
I will add, this is Brad Breedlove. I will add with the board that, you know, the Chromebooks are a vital part of our instructional programming, regardless of just the accountability portion in the testing. Every classroom teacher uses Google Classroom or a Canvas page, depends on the school and the structure of the classroom. But to access that, that's why students need a Chromebook or need a device to be able to access lesson plans, materials that are put in there. But I say that with the understanding that screen time, we do not want students to spending a majority of the day on a computer screen. The Chromebook, just like many things that we use in the school, is a tool, and it's a tool to access information, whether that's the teacher information or research or something like that. And I will say that in our elementary school, you're going to see less screen time as compared to a middle and certainly a high school. And, you know, by the time the students reach high school, They are taking a lot of notes using their Chromebook. They are creating a lot of products based on a Chromebook or information that they are able to research. But once again, how much time is vital to that. And, you know, we have really spent a lot of time over the last 2 years of reducing screen time in our schools. Is it perfect in every single classroom? No, and we're still working on that. We're still using professional development and educating teachers. What is that right balance? And it may depend on what the class is. If it's a coding class or if it's a career technical education class in which they rely on a computer device like a CAD class, they're going to spend a lot of time on that screen time inside that classroom. But other classrooms, like a history classroom, it may be note-taking or something like that. At the elementary level, you're probably looking at about in a 2 to 3 hour period, 20 minutes or so, depending on what app the student might be using. The rest of the time, they're in small group work, or large group work, they're doing individual work outside of the Chromebook. And I just want to really make sure that the board understands that we do have a plan. We don't want students on the Chromebooks all hours of the day and night. That's not appropriate. But it is a tool, and it will be utilized appropriately within our school system. And I hope that helps. And Mr. Hall, did that help answer some of the questions?
Yes, sir, it does. But just so, in short, so the public understands, we're basically held hostage to replace these things by what amounts to a state mandate. And yes, it's paid for with local money. So, but due to testing, we don't have a choice. I mean,
and I'll
if we,
oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I mean, if we don't do this, kids do not get promoted to the next level because there's no way to test them. Does that sum it up pretty well, Dr. Breedlove?
Sums it up very good, sir. Yes, sir. And we need to remember that, you know, Chromebooks are part of our digital learning plan and our remote learning plan on days that, you know, we have school shut down because of weather or something else.
All right, thank you.
Madam Chairman, this is Jennifer Hansen. I have a statement as well. Not really a question,
yes, ma'am. Go right ahead. I
just want to say, as a former substitute teacher, these Chromebooks are almost essential for teachers being able to leave substitute plans and things for the kids to do when they're out of the classroom, whether it be personal time or their professional development or whatever it might be. But they convey what needs to be done in the classroom through those Chromebooks to the individual students.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
This is Jason Spivey. Dr. Breedlove, I think you've answered the questions that I was going to ask, sir. I think Vice Chair, Mr. Hall, I think we're on the same page with that. The public needs to know that we are held hostage with this, and yes, I think we're all pushing, you know, hands-on learning, and it seems like Dr. Breedlove is in favor of that, and they have these schedules and this time broke down to pursue the hands-on learning. So I thank both of you for being very clear with that.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Board, are there any other questions or comments? Okay, at this time, would anyone like to entertain a motion?
I entertain the motion to vote for the Chromebooks.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reeves. Do we have a second?
Second, Jennifer Hansen.
Thank you, Ms. Hansen. All in favor, please say aye, and I will be doing a roll call. Mr. Spivey? Mr. Spivey? Okay, Ms. Hansen?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hall
Yes.
and Mr. Reeves.
Yes.
Okay.
This is Jason Spivey.
Do
Can
we-
y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Is your vote aye or nay, sir?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And the motion is approved unanimously. All right, at this time, do we have, now that action agenda is cleared, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn, Jason Spivey.
Thank you, Mr. Spivey. Do we have a second?
I will second, Don.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. All in favor, let's see, Ms. Hans,
Yes.
Mr. Spivey,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
and Mr. Reeves.
Yes.
Thank you, board, and thank you, everyone. Everyone have a great weekend. We are adjourned.
Thank you very much.